Hi everyone, welcome to another story time with Miss Sarah. So why don't we get started with our hello song? Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? How are you today? I am fine. I hope you are too. I am fine. I hope you are too. I am fine. I hope you are too. I hope you're fine today. Clapping my hands, you do it too. Clapping my hands, you do it too. Clapping my hands, you do it too. Clap your hands with me. Yay! So today is a very special day. It is Veterans Day. So Veterans Day is a day where we thank all those who served. It could be in the Army, the Marines. There's lots of ways people could have served. And so it's a day that we are thankful for them. You are very likely have had someone who is a veteran in your family. I know I have. You also might have someone who is considered active duty, which means they are still serving. My brother-in-law, Jonathan, is currently active duty. He's a captain, and I'm just very thankful for him and for everyone else who is currently serving or who has served. So thank you if there's any veterans or active duty people who are currently watching. So because it's Veterans Day, I do have a couple different stories to read and maybe educate a little. And so this first one, it's called Wind Flyers by Angela Johnson, and it's illustrated by Lauren Long. Great great uncle was a wind flyer, a smooth wind flyer, a Tuskegee wind flyer. So let's see, the person telling the story is talking about their uncle. His whole life, all he ever wanted to do was fly. With his arms flapping, he jumped off a chicken coop when he was 5. Oh dear. Then jumped off a barn into soft hay when he was 7. Uncle says it's because he'd watched some birds fly that day. Oh, well, at least he jumped into hay. I wouldn't recommend jumping from high places, though. When he was 11, he paid 75 cents to go up with a flying barnstormer. Ooh, so he's going to go up in a plane for the first time. What heaven must be, Uncle says to me, with clouds like soft blankets saying, "Come on in, get warm, stay a while, and be a wind flyer too." They flew over the fields, over the lakes, and Uncle just knew if he could get a good grip, those clouds would be his. So they're looking down on everything from up above. That does look very pretty. He cried when they landed, because then he knew what it was like to go into the wind, against the wind, beyond the wind. So it sounds like he really enjoyed that flight. There was magic in the wind back then, he says. There's Uncle as a boy. He's sitting on the roof, and look, you see, he's watching the plane fly. I bet he's dreaming about flying again. When he was older, Uncle became a Tuskegee Airman with the 332nd. He studied hard and flew into a war. Air Force didn't want us at first. Only 4 squadrons like us, he said, touching his mahogany face. So He's gonna get to fly for the Army. And when his plane left the red Alabama dirt and flew in the air, he hoped he would never come down. So there's his fellow soldiers are cheering for him as he goes flying in the plane for the first time. Finally become a wind flyer, a smooth wind flyer, a Tuskegee wind flyer, flying high above it all, never to touch the earth again, forever a wind flyer. So look at there they all are. They have their special hats and goggles so they can fly the plane. When I asked him if it was a big war, Uncle says, they all are. That's over now. Oh, so look at, there they all are flying the planes. We were something. Some of us didn't come back, but we never lost a plane we protected. Then Uncle points at the picture of him in the wind flyers, those smooth wind flyers, young and brave, brave and young, all. So he's teaching him about when he was a wind flyer. He's showing the nephew pictures. Uncle crop dusted some right after the war. That's the only way he could still fly. The only way he could still catch the clouds and feel the wind. He says flying is different now, though. So look, you still kept one of the planes. That one's pretty cool. Faster planes, more people than ever. But Uncle says the clouds still sound the same. He holds my hand and we watch new wind flyers jet through the clouds. So remember in the beginning when the uncle was a kid watching the planes? Now there he is with his nephew watching the new kinds of planes there are. Then, once in a while, he takes me up and we become the smooth wind flyers. Tuskegee wind flyers, flying into the wind, against the wind, beyond the wind. The magical wind. I was wondering if he would get a chance to go up with his uncle. And so there is an author's note back that I want to read. In January of 1941, under pressure from the NAACP and other groups, the U.S. Army Air Force created the all-black 99th Pursuit Squadron. The 332nd Fighter Group had been formed in 1942, making it the only 4th Squadron Fighter Group in the Army Air Force. These pilots were trained on an airfield in Tuskegee, Alabama. So that's why they are called the Tuskegee Wind Flyers. Under pressure from the Roosevelt administration, the 99th was finally posted in North Africa in 1943. The segregated squadron eventually turned out 600 pilots and 145,000 support personnel, and they earned numerous distinguished flying awards and unit citations. The 332nd distinguished themselves as the only escort group that never lost a single bomber to enemy fire. So I really liked that story. I got to learn a little bit about something I didn't know. So I hope you like that too. And we're still going to be learning because I have another book, and this one is going to explain a little bit more about Veterans Day and why it's important. Americans hang flags outside their houses. They think about the people who serve their country. They show patriotism at events. It is Veterans Day. So a lot of people have flags hanging like that. That's our American flag. This holiday honors the men and women of the military. People give respect to those who served in war and peacetime. So here you can see all the different armed forces. There's the Air Force, the Army, the Coast Guard, the Marines, and the Navy. So we honor everyone who served in those branches. The United States celebrates Veterans Day. Other countries have a similar holiday. They call it Remembrance Day. So this is showing a Remembrance Day event in Canada. A peace agreement was signed on November 11th, 1918. This ended the fighting in World War I. The signing took place at 11 a.m. in the morning. So here's a painting of what it might have looked like when they signed that agreement. Americans wanted to remember this day of peace. They began celebrating Armistice Day. The United States changed the name to Veterans Day in 1954. So here's a pen. Remember our veterans. It's very important. Veterans Day happens on November 11th. Sometimes this day falls during the week. People often throw celebrations on the weekend. Communities hold special parades. They invite veterans to march in their uniforms. Families wave and cheer. So this page right here is showing you how you can make your own flag. It's very easy. You just need some red, white, and blue paper and some star stickers, and you can make your own flag for a craft. Places across the world take 2 minutes of silence at 11 in the morning. This quiet time shows respect for those who died in the war. So it's almost 11 a.m. actually. A little bit. So, at 11 a.m., maybe you could just take a couple minutes. Silent thank you to all the veterans who served and for all those who are still active duty. Some people go to the Veterans Day national ceremony. The president lays a wreath on a special grave. A bugler plays taps. Americans thank veterans from the past and present. So, that's guys playing a special song. The end. So I know this book talked a lot about, parades and celebrating, which because of COVID we can't do, but I had an idea for something that you can do that's safe and socially distanced. I'm looking for the share screen button. You can write letters. You can write letters to active duty or people who are veterans. Operation Gratitude is a great not-for-profit organization. They do a lot of cool stuff for soldiers, veterans. One of them is letter writing. And yeah, it has a whole bunch of things you can do. You can thank a veteran. You can write a letter to someone who's active duty. You can write to a wounded warrior. And I just think it's a nice thing to do, because you don't know who gets letters, who doesn't. Even if you just drop pictures, it has examples of what you can do. You do have to, sign up a registration if you want to do it for yourself or if you're a teacher and you want your class to do it. That'd be a really great idea. And there's some of the soldiers who received letters. Okay, stop share. Okay, so for my song, I'm actually going to do a couple different songs. I decided I should, since it's Veterans Day, maybe sing some of my favorite patriotic songs, dedicate them to our veterans. Also apologize to our veterans because I don't have the best singing voice. I'm, no Mariah Carey, but my mom likes my voice. So the first one I'm going to do is a childhood favorite. I remember singing God Bless America in elementary school for like one of those little concerts we had, and there were hand movements for it. So, and I think I kind of remember the hand movements. So, yeah, we'll see. Okay. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, through the mountains, through the prairies, through the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. So I have a funny story that explains a little something about the way I sang it. When I was in elementary school, I thought it was white with faux, not foam, which is why I made sure to really get that M in there. Never mind that there is no such thing as faux. I never questioned it as a child. You know, why, what is white with faux? I just assumed it was part of the song. So I just thought that was a funny story. You know, the things you think are the real words as kids. So the next song, I don't remember it as well. So I'm just going to get the lyrics up. And so this song, another song I remember singing as a kid in those elementary school concerts, My Country, 'Tis of Thee. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside let freedom ring. And there's actually other verses too, but never sang those in elementary school. And I actually have a funny story about this song. Again, things you think you hear as a kid. So I actually didn't realize that the song was supposed to be, the lyrics are about America. I thought that the beginning was saying, my country, 'tis of Lee. And the story gets better. Whenever playing Mad Libs with my sister and we had to pick a country, I would say, 'tis of Lee. And no one ever corrected me. So, yeah, again, isn't it crazy sometimes the things you hear you think you hear as a kid and ends up being something different? But those were just two of my favorite songs as a kid. And actually, I have one thing left to say about a really cool guy who served a long, long time ago. Actually, a founding father. And his name is Alexander Hamilton. My name is Alexander Hamilton. And there's a million things I haven't done, but just you wait. Just you wait. Sorry, that was a very out of tune. But we are actually having a Hamilton program in November. We are collaborating with Liverpool Library. So in December, I mean, so make sure you check that out. And again, a special thank you to all our veterans and active duty. God bless you and thank you for your service. So hope everyone has a good day and I'll see you next week.